Welcome everyone to the Gitty Gang Show here, coming to you live from CB Gitty. Got Glenn Watt over here, of course, Farley, and our special guest this week, Mr. Marty Tauber from up there in the great state of Maine, came down to visit us today. We got a lot of great stuff lined up for you today. We got some how to play information from Shane. We got the announcement of last week's giveaway winner of the custom guitar, a new giveaway this week. Got a huge sale going on cbgitty.com right now, 20% off of like everything that you need, almost everything, but everything that you need to build a guitar, cigar box guitar, or other homemade instruments. So all kinds of good stuff going on. But right now we got a little picking and grinning to do. I'm picking, she's grinning. Well, it's the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. It's the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. And we're coming to you live from CB Gitty. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget, share this publicly on Facebook here to be entered in the drawing. You can share it at any time, whether you're watching it live with us right now or after the fact when it's archived on the Nation page. So hey, we're going to do a little giddy shuffle here to get over into our seats. So pay no attention to the people behind the curtain. Get our microphone over here, like so. Oh. Grab the script, Marty. Can't go in scriptless. All right, so again, thank you for tuning in. Now, a lot of good stuff happening this week, this weekend, and right now, in fact, down in Clarksdale, Mississippi, the first annual International Clarksdale Cigar Box Guitar Festival kicked off last night. Now, this thing is organized by Steve Arvey and Matthew Ritchie, and they have put together an amazing event there with some of the best performers in the cigar box guitar and homemade instrument worlds. They're having a builders contest down there with prizes donated by CB Gitty, and it's just going to be an amazing event. You know, I wanted so much to be there. Somebody posted on Facebook this past week of, what a nice surprise it would be if Ben, Glenn, and Farley showed up. I'm like, that would be a surprise for all of us. But unfortunately, here we are up in New Hampshire when the fun's happening down there in Mississippi. But here's what I wanted to let you know. They put together a GoFundMe fundraiser for that festival earlier this week. It was kind of a last-minute thing. The festival kept growing and more acts and more venues. The budget didn't. So anything that you can do to help support, and the funds from this GoFundMe are earmarked for the performers who are traveling, making their way to Clarksdale to be a part of this. So if you can't make it to Clarksdale, and most of us can't, pitch in. You know, all the way down to the $10 level, they're giving away a digital download of a bootleg recording. We call it a bootleg, but John Nickel is going to be recording the acts and putting together an album recorded there at Clarksdale, and you get a digital copy of it for $10. You get for $25 you get a physical copy and one of the posters, so you can be a part of this amazing inaugural event if you so choose, and we certainly encourage you to do so. Also this week, a piece of news, our own Nick over here behind the screens has returned from the arms of marital bliss. He was on his honeymoon the last couple of broadcasts we've done, and he is back operating the production booth there, and we are glad to have him, because as you know, if you watched these past 2 weeks, it's been a little haphazard. We got through it, but just barely. Now, speaking of last week's show, biggest show we've had yet, and huge thanks go out to those of you who tune in to watch these.
So cool.
Over 26,000 views, 445 shares, hundreds of comments, to which Glenn Watt responded to almost every darn one. A Herculean task. So thank you for tuning in. And again, notice our awesome new signs up here. Thanks to Shane Speal for suggesting that and for designing this logo over here. But if you share this broadcast video publicly on Facebook, you're entered in the drawing to win an awesome instrument. And we'll be showing what has been won by one of you from last week's show soon. All right.
In the Grandpa Gitty show?
Well, no, Grandpa Gitty, Grandpa Gitty took to the airwaves yesterday to share some interesting information, and we're figuring out how to fit Grandpa Gitty into the workings here. But he'll probably be making another appearance. He's off watching Hee Haw reruns right now, just to hone his comedic delivery.
Yeah, buddy, Scott Tebow, it's good to see you. David Comtois, good to see you. We got Jim Burt. Roll Tide, Jim Burt. Roll Tide. David Buckholz, good to see you, man. Rock on. Everybody else, Jerome. I'm seeing a couple faces in here that I don't normally see. Bill Redcliffe, thank you for the likes. This is awesome. Like Ben had been saying earlier, as you know, it's awesome if you share the show, share it publicly. There will be a drop-down menu underneath the share button, and that'll allow you to share it publicly, which enters you in to win whatever it is on this given week that we're giving away.
It's going to be a thing.
And the thing is I don't want to be too, I don't want to solicit too much from you, but when you give us this kind of love that I'm seeing right now, when I see hearts and all that other jazz and likes going across the screen, as Ben mentioned earlier last week,
it's
He's over here just
it's just me. But that's applause. Like otherwise, we don't really. I see you out there. Like Mike and David and Keith. Hello, Keith. It's good to see you. Like I see you out there, and I know you're out there having a good time and letting us know. But this is the easiest way right there. And thank you very much for throwing up the thumb. So very cool. Thank you very much.
That is digital applause. It's the applause of the new digital age.
Yeah,
So
a newcomer, Rich Federuti from Rhode Island, first show that he's
first show.
Rich, good to have you, man.
Cigar Box Guitars.
And hey, David Comtois out there, he was a big part of why last week's show was our best yet. So thank you, David, for coming up. And Marty for coming down this week from Maine. We got him coming up from Massachusetts, coming down from Maine. I don't really know anybody in Vermont that can come over, but someday. All right, so got through all that. And speaking of Mr. Marty Tauber here, he does a lot of things. A veritable Renaissance man. He's a cigar box guitar builder, a pickup winder, a builder of historic recreation instruments, and what else? Did I say festival vendor?
No.
Festival vendor. Marty, you have taken to, this is one of the Uncle Enos banjo built from the original plans that Marty gifted to us a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Now, as we like to say, we're not soliciting people to send us cool stuff. Glenn and I, we're not asking anybody to send us things. Now, Farley, she's like, bring it on. What do you got?
Things.
Where's my things? Gave it to us, and it's been a great part of the kind of Gitty collection ever since. So Marty, we're going to talk to Marty for a little bit about a couple of facets of what he does. Then we got an awesome video from Shane Speal. Shane took a step back this week. He said, I'm going to record a video for the beginner, because he's done a lot of videos. We've all done a lot of how-to videos, but often there's at least one or two people give feedback of, that's great, but it's still not beginner enough for me. Like, really start at the beginning. So Shane this week, how to hold your guitar, how to hold your pick, getting those first notes out of your guitar to start building towards playing a song. So hope you enjoy that. Then we're going to come back and talk to Marty some more. So, get Uncle Enos out of the way here. Recently, Marty, you joined us over in Dover at the Mini Maker Fair Kanjo booth that Glenn was a big part of organizing. Farley was there. I stopped in for the easy part. But you were there all day, and what did you take away from that? What seeing all those kids and families building those instruments?
The look on the kids' faces when he said, okay, who has a Kanjo now? you do. And you give it to them, and they strum it. It's like, wow, that was priceless right there.
Yeah.
And I don't think I heard one bad comment from anybody, the parents or anybody. Some of them waited half an hour to get into the booth.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some people, we ran out of bits
Yeah, and
after
that-
the first 50. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
when you do an event like this, you're never quite sure, is anybody going to
And-
care? Is anybody going to do it? And in this instance,
Right.
they certainly did care and certainly did want to do it.
And whoever the task fell to had probably be the hardest thing to tell that first person, we're out of Kanjo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who did take it?
Kim.
Kim Starling.
Yes.
She takes the forefront on some of the less
The
enjoyable
bad news.
tasks around here.
But the rest of the day, you saw the kids walking around, some of them playing them, most of them in the parents' backpack carrying them around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the kids are still playing.
And the kids discovering that not only can they make their own musical instrument, but then make music on it.
Right.
You know, those two discoveries in a pretty short period of time, I like to think opened a lot of eyes and hopefully plants a seed in a young mind that will, maybe not maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of their lives will sprout
Yeah.
into a love and appreciation of music and making music.
That's
So
awesome.
that's our hope.
Yeah.
So thank you again
You're
for,
very welcome. Anytime.
well, there will hopefully be more. Glenn and I are talking about the Traveling Kanjo Roadshow show. Anyway, yeah.
Well, I have a passport, so wherever you want to go.
Oh, well, we're probably going to start regional first, but yeah.
Have Kanjo will travel.
Have Kanjo will travel. The Traveling Kanjo Roadshow. I think we agreed to actually do a concert.
Certainly did, over at the
Recently.
Trilliums Museum over in Dover, New Hampshire, in front of which was the Dover Mini Maker Fair. So it looks like Ben and I are going to be putting on a performance for the kids there at the end of December. It's going to be a
Yeah,
pretty cool
it's
time.
going to be a thing. So the other thing, Marty, kind of related to this, but on the other side of it, is you have set up as a vendor at a blues festival up there in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, for the
Right.
last couple of years. Now, he does business under the name Maine Made CBGs.
Yes.
You'll find, if you've ever been to Maine, you probably already know. I know Shane Speal was there recently. They like to make as much punny use of Maine-made, you know, it gets good use. So Maine-made CBGs, you're a strong part of the Maine.
I'm a Maina.
Yes, I'm a maniac. I lived in Maine for 5 years. Bangor. Yeah, up in the frozen hinterland of America. But you know what they always said, and any of you who live near the northern friendship border of the U.S. and Canada know that the northernmost, coldest, worst weather parts of the United States butt up against the southernmost, nicest, warmest parts of Canada. So, you know, it puts it in perspective. All right, so tell us about your experiences as a vendor. Like what it took to take that leap and say, I'm going to set up a booth and sell these things I built.
Well, when you get about 25 builds made and you don't sell them, you still get the looks like, okay, what do you do with them now?
Looks from the wife, perhaps?
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but thank you.
And friends and loved ones starting to look at you with that furrowed brow.
Right.
And
Yeah, you're a hoarder. But, no, I saw the people selling them, and I saw it out at the Maine Blues Festival up in Naples. And first year didn't sell one, because no one knew what they were. And I educated a lot of people about that. Same thing in Old Orchard Beach. I think I sold one diddley bow at the Old Orchard Beach the first year. And I said, well, I'll give it 2 more years. Nothing happens, I'll blow off on the building, give it away.
Right.
And second year came, and third year came, and
Things
Well,
start
to be well.
happening.
Rock
Nice.
on, man.
and now last one I just sold 4 of them at the last show, and it was a blues jazz.
Oh,
So
breaking into the jazz crowd.
right,
Nice.
That was 2 weeks
Good.
ago?
last weekend.
Last week, I'm sorry,
Last
last weekend.
yeah.
And may I ask, being now a veteran vendor in festivals, do you have any advice for somebody like me who has never been a vendor, a solo vendor at a festival before? Like, what would you suggest to somebody as a first-time vendor?
Best advice I got was from Shane Speal.
He's done a lot of vendors.
Yes. When I first started looking at it, he came out with a video, advice for first guy's time going out there. And he said, get yourself a portable amp.
Mm.
Portable, even if it's not loud, it'll draw people in.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, come on in, see what I have.
Great advice.
And a good display.
And at the same time, you're giving people a little taste of what they can
Right.
do and what they sound like, even if you're just doing 1-4-5 or
Right.
just strumming on one,
And you always get the one sleeper out there who goes, oh, could I try that?
Mm.
And he gets on there playing like he's been born on it. And it's like, what am I doing here? You want to stay here for a while?
Oh, we had one of those at the Dover. Remember the guy came in and he had. It's always a sign when they've got a guitar pick in their pocket.
Or slide, yes.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
wow! When I go to town, like,
Yeah.
yeah, you've done something before, haven't you?
But no, they come in, and especially when I see them coming in like that, I crank up the amp really loud.
Yeah.
And then this year, I did some wood burning work for a guy, and I traded for a Bluetooth speaker.
Mm.
So I have that hanging up from the ceiling of my little pop-up, and from an old smartphone, I have CBG music playing over the Bluetooth,
Oh,
so
nice.
they can hear it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, at Old Orchard Beach, it was so loud, you basically had to yell at each other at 2 inches apart.
Mm-hmm.
Were you near a sound stage where the music was happening?
I was
or-
100 yards away.
Oh, wow. They had it cranked then, huh?
Oh, yes, yes.
So in general, like if you're sitting out there, like I've got a basement full of cigar box guitars I've built, maybe I should try vending. I would say that in general, step one is find a local festival, music
Right.
festival, blues festival, jazz, maybe bluegrass, country music. Find something that's already happening.
Even a flea market.
A flea market, a street fair, street festival.
Right.
So find that, pick your venue, and then find out what the vendor setup is for that festival or street fair or whatever. Usually you have to pay a little fee,
Right.
but it's usually not that much for the more local ones.
And see what the market will bear.
Yeah.
Don't overprice yourself. Go in low.
Having a range of things, having
Yes.
some Kanjos that you can sell for $30-$40 next to the guitars that are a couple of hundred, because a lot of people don't go to these kinds of events saying, I want to drop $300 today on a guitar I had never heard of before,
Where are they? Please.
Yeah, where are these people? I don't know. They're not lining up outside of CB Gitty, I'll tell you that. But having a range of things, maybe, that we sell amp kits, CB Gitty sells amp kits, having a few little amps there that you build as well. Rounding out a product line a little bit. So, if the guitar's too much, maybe your kid would like this Kanjo, or there's a diddly bow here, So, getting the info, signing up as a vendor. Sometimes they will require an insurance policy. The bigger street fests
Bigger
and
ones,
stuff
yeah.
sometimes do, which can be a little tricky. And then, get yourself a pop-up tent at Walmart, a couple of tables, throw sheets over them, and
That's it.
Shane has posted a lot of stuff. I can't remember exactly where. He's out there in the comments. Oh, there it is. Selling at festivals. About how to set up your booth, how you can do some homemade displays and stuff. So, didn't mean to get too sidetracked about how to do a festival, but I know a lot of people out there ask or have been thinking about how to best do it. So, hopefully, next year, we're kind of getting towards the end of festival season, at least here in New Hampshire now. But think about it for next year. There's a lot of stuff going on. County fairs, state fairs, a lot of options.
Yep.
All right, well, we've been doing a lot of talking and not much picking here. So here is a video recorded earlier this week by Shane Speal, the king of the cigar box guitar, starting at the beginning. Some nice, basic, beginner stuff. So if you were new to cigar box guitars, if you were kind of being introduced to this idea for the first time and you see us picking and carrying on, and you're like, well, how the heck do I get started? This video is for you. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be back soon.
Hey Cigar Box Nation, it's Shane Speal, and we are going to go back to basics today. Now, on YouTube, I have these videos. I have all kind of videos on there for how to play cigar box guitar, and in some of them I've called them basics. Well, a few people have called me out and said that they are not basic enough for the very beginner. And I guess I get into that routine where I've been doing this so long, I don't think back to when I first started playing. So we're going to go over a couple quick techniques for if you are just brand new at playing cigar box guitar, guitar in general, anything like that. Let's talk about the pick and the slide. First of all, do not hold your pick like a claw. I'm going to give a little close up here and get my hand in there. Do not hold that pick like a claw. No, you want to hold it, you want to be relaxed when you hold it. Hold it like this with a finger here. You don't want it to grip it hard like a pen. Basically, you want it to be held like this between the thumb and the finger so that it glides. It glides easily across those strings. If you're gripping it like a claw, then it's going to be jagged. So you just want to kind of hold it so it doesn't go anywhere. And so it's comfortable. You want this thing to just glide over these strings and make the strings sing out. Okay, slide. Make sure you get a slide that fits your finger. Don't get something that's too loose that it keeps falling off. If you notice, this stubby slide I have right here, I put double-sided or single-sided felt, little sticky felt that I got from the craft store, and I lined it on the inside of there so when my finger goes on this stubby slide, it doesn't go anywhere. That slide just stays right there. So fit that slide to your finger and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Which finger do you want to use? Whatever is comfortable to you. Some people like their pinky. Some people like their ring finger. I love it on the ring finger. Bonnie Raitt uses a slide on her middle finger. And there's even an Australian guitarist named Dave Hole that would put it on his first finger and turn it over and play like this. But for me, I'm most comfortable with my ring finger. Experiment. Have a little fun. Now the other thing we've learned, you hold the pick like, so you don't want it to be going everywhere. You get the slide so it's fitting your finger good. Now the other big thing is when that slide goes on a fretboard, especially a fretless cigar box guitar, you don't want to put the slide in the middle of the fret, such as, let me see here. I've got this guitar and it has frets. Anytime you fret a guitar, you put your finger in the middle there to make it ring out. Well, slide, you want to put that slide directly on top of the fret. See that? You want it to go right on top of the fret line. Boom, here, not in between, but right on top. And you also don't need to smash that slide down on the fretboard. Slide should be hard enough that when it touches the string, it makes the string ring out in wherever the slide is touching it. You don't need to crush it down. I've seen some people try to play slide and they push too hard, and it just really makes everything sound out of tune and rough. So just make sure you learn how to just put that slide right there on the strings, right above the fret line, but don't crush it. Just get it on there and make some good contact. Alright, now let's do a quick lick. Just what I'm doing. Let's do the I'm a Man lick. I have this tuned to open G, which is G, D, G, G, D, G. And all I'm doing is doing open, 5th fret. Right over, the slide is right over the 5th fret, which is on most fretboards, the 2nd dot. 5th fret. Pull the slide off. Go to the 3rd fret. Put the slide there. And then pull that slide off again. So it goes like this. And if you notice with my picking hand, I'm not going up and down like an acoustic guitarist would, like... No, we're only doing downstrokes on it for right now. For this lick, It sounds best when you're just doing downstrokes. I'll do a close-up here. See how that pick looks comfortable? Okay, and the other hand, I'll give you a close-up there. All together. So there you go. We're going for comfort. We're making sure we're not squeezing the pick, and we're making sure we're not squeezing the slide. That's the basic for you. Try it out. It's going to take you a while to get used to holding the pick, holding the slide, but that's what practice is all about. Do it as you're sitting around the back porch, watching TV, whatever. And there you go. My name is Shane Speal. I am from Cigar Box Nation. If you want to see my music, I've got a new album coming out. Check out shanespeal.com. Thanks to the guys at cbgitty.com for sponsoring this. I will see you guys very soon. Thanks. See you guys.
All right. Well, we want to thank Shane Speal for that. That began. I see from the comments of folks watching saying good advice, and hopefully there'll be a lot of people watch that and feel confident about getting busy playing their cigar box guitars. You know, we still hear from a lot of builders that, oh, I only build, I don't play. And our mission, our goal is to invalidate that and say you have no excuse. You know, pick that thing up and play it. You know, even if you've got a, you know, if your hands got some trouble, or even, you know, we've got a good friend, One Hand Dan, who, you know, even if you don't have both full hands, you know, you find a way to make the music and let it out that's in you. So, Marty, I wanted to come back at you now, because one of the really cool things that you do is you have gotten into winding your own pickups and doing so in the flat pup style. Now, if you're not familiar with flat pups, they were developed by a guy named Elmar over in Austria, I believe, and then our good friend Dan Sleep worked with Elmar to start making them here in the United States. And Marty, you met Dan, you said, out in St. Louis,
right.
at the St. Louis Cigar Box Guitar Festival several years back, and he shared some of his methods with you. And then more recently, when Dan was diagnosed with cancer, he told you to start. You could start running with it.
Right, he gave me specs on them, how many winds, sources for magnets, and that's all I needed to go with. And the hardest part was trying to build a winder, a holder to hold a flat pup.
Yeah.
You know, compared to a regular style.
So you made your own winder.
I made my own winder.
Well, you've been in that sort of field for a long time, fabrication and such.
40
years, yeah, longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
You know, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So.
Oh, never mind.
I'm 40. How old are you?
I'm older than that.
I had a patent on birth.
Boy, this is getting personal on this week's Gitty show. So now you're winding the pickups. You've traded some, and you're using them in some of your own builds.
Yes, I figured if I'm making them, I might as well put on my own builds. This way, the entire build is my own, not something from China
Right.
or something else. I make my own pickups, make my own builds, put them on there, so it's all me.
That's good. That's good. Now you've got a couple of builds here with you today, and I know Farley, you had some questions for Marty about some of these.
I just, as a builder, I just love the stuff that you do, and I'm curious about the little cutout there on the ukulele.
Hold this up so the people can see.
Yeah.
You want to hold that, Marty, and Nick can
Yeah.
probably zoom right in on it.
How did you do the cutout on the side?
The initial cut, I think I took a coffee can, used it for a curve,
Yeah, use the radius.
and put on the bandsaw and just had at it.
Really?
Now you must have
But-
put some wood inside there to.
No, the wood here, I took the coffee can, soaked a piece of 1/8 inch oak in water for about 2-3 days
Mhm.
and bent it around the coffee can so I had the same radius.
Oh,
Nice.
And then
boy.
sanded and fitted it in.
That's,
I want to,
That's really
that's,
cool.
that's a good tip.
Nick, if you leave that zoom where it is, excuse me, I want to come up close here so people can see this.
Yeah,
Which camera are we going to? This one. Look at that there.
That's
He
awesome.
bent that piece of 1/8" oak around the same coffee can he used to get the radius, and then fit it in there to get that awesome cutaway. That's pretty cool stuff.
can you
right
show
there.
the sound holes?
And
They
then-
look like crop circles, I just
Crop
love
circles.
I love that.
Now I'm gonna guess just different sizes of spade or Forstner bits on
Forstner
that.
bits. Just,
So-
yeah.
And then what about the string retainer? That's really unique.
I'm gonna have to go up there again. aren't I? We need a
Well-
close-up.
Yeah,
view
we need
here.
a camera.
Well, like they say, use what you got.
Yeah,
Well, I was getting a buzz because I didn't have a good enough string break,
yeah.
and I had 2 eyes and a dowel, so I used what I had.
That is so
That
cool.
is slick.
Really cool.
No doubt about it.
And
So a DIY homemade string retainer with a dowel through 2. Oh, the mic's back there. Anyway, you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
can you show that headstock? Because I also wanted to ask him about that
All right.
headstock on the 3-string. I love that.
So this is a 3-string cigar box guitar that has one of Marty's hand-wound pickups in it, and a pretty cool headstock.
Look at that headstock.
Yeah.
Lift it up.
Right.
Oh,
Lift it
there
up,
we go.
Up, there you go.
Woo,
Look
there
at
it is.
that. This
Come
is
on.
like a sled.
That,
How do you
and
do
that
that?
was from a reclaimed pallet 2x4.
Oh, really?
It's
So-
all one piece.
Oh, wow.
Nicely done,
It's-
sir.
This is all one piece from here, the brake, curve, nut, everything.
Oh,
It's
wow.
all one piece to here.
From a
Nice.
pallet runner.
2x4
Yeah, nice.
going across. I found one that
Looks
was,
like maple.
it is maple.
That's beautiful.
Really is, buddy.
That's really
So,
nice.
and they know at work, if there's a good oak or maple 2x4 coming through, if it disappears, they know who to look for.
Wow.
Save it for you.
That's really
Yeah.
nice.
Well,
Mike.
let's just got the amp going over here. Just wanted to give us a short sample of what these pickups sound like.
Want to say hello to Paul Lewis, who's saying hi to everybody. Bob Rawson, Henry Lohman, I've seen you out there. Jonathan Lagasse, it's good to see you, sir. Andy Sanchez, Dar, Stella Bottom, my buddy. How you been? Lazy Left Eye, good to see you. Sounds awesome.
Not playing it so awesome.
Hey!
All right, that's enough of that.
Got to say hello to Mark Madding, Michael Capato, good to see you. Harold, Joe August, Matthew Simpson, what's up, bud?
Magic Daddy in the
Hey!
house.
Nathan J. Roberts, a new friend of mine, good to see you, sir. And for what and I just wanted to also take this time for a moment. If you haven't already shared this episode, would you mind doing that now? Give me a thumbs up on the screen too, please, and thank you. 'Cause
Oh,
that'd be
there's a lot
super
of
sweet to
hearts
see.
going by.
That'd be awesome. Thank you. Come on, that's
It
awesome.
might just all be Shane, but
It
hey.
could be great.
Thanks.
And if you haven't yet, would you mind considering the Cigar Box Nation page and the CB Gitty Crafter Supply Facebook page? If you wouldn't mind, check it. Get even each of those pages a like, and if you'd like also to get notifications of every time we do a Gitty Gang show, all you have to do is click notifications, and you will get such a thing, so that you don't have to remember it, don't have to put it in your calendar. It's just blammo, there it is.
There it
Facebook's
is.
gonna remind you.
Well, you might be wondering, like, why would I need to like both pages, the CB Gitty page and the Cigar Box Nation page? In a nutshell here, I'm not going to ramble on. The Cigar Box Nation page is like a news magazine where we share all of the happenings in the cigar box guitar and homemade music worlds. The events, if Samantha Fish gives an interview and is talking about her cigar box guitars, that all gets shared on Nation. It's on the Nation page, which this is being broadcast to right now. It's kind of the go-to news magazine outlet for this whole crazy handmade music movement. Now the CB Gitty page is a little different. It's focused more on what we do here at CB Gitty Crafter Supply. In addition to these wacky shows, we build instruments, we create new parts and tools and jigs, do our best to expand and grow the movement and supply the parts and things to the people, the builders like Marty and many of you who are out there building these instruments. So on the Gitty page we share a lot of how-to information, videos, product features, news about what's happening in-house. Glenn has taken on a lot of creating the content for the Gitty page and posting it. Shane Speal focuses more on the Cigar Box Nation page. So there's good stuff happening on both, and it's not just like we just are putting the same things on both of them all the time. It's different info. So liking both of them, if you're into this whole crazy idea that you can make instruments out of garbage and then play music on them, it will never work. Never work. If that appeals to you, then liking both pages might be worth your while. So thank you for watching. I'm going to change the order a little bit here.
No.
Yeah.
It's already happened.
Well, I don't want the giveaway announcement to be pushed too far back because I know a lot of people are waiting on that. So if you remember last week, the idea was for everyone who publicly shares this video, or last week's video, on Facebook, and when we say publicly, we mean when you click the share button, there's a little drop down next to it where you can choose to share just to friends or to public. You got to do it publicly, otherwise we can't see your name that you've done it. That everyone who did that would be entered in a drawing to win one of our illustrated cigar box guitars, and the winner would get to choose what went on it. That's a first for us, like a customized cigar box guitar. What? Okay. So the winner, chosen randomly from the hundreds, 445 people who shared the post, the winner was Mark W. Rice.
Mark!
Is that right? Yes, Mark Rice down in Austin, Florida. And I contacted Mark on, what day was it? 2 days ago, and said, hey, you're the winner. What do you want on your guitar? And he thought about it and got back to me and submitted an image of, it's pretty cool. You want to take it over and show it to him close?
Yeah, of course.
What we got here is an image, a cool old photograph of a mule dressed up like a man. Look at that. He's got a hat on, he's got his gaiters on there and his boots, a couple of whiskey bottles in his pockets.
I thought that was a half man, half donkey.
No, that's all donkey.
Hold
Oh,
on.
A centaur?
I thought it was real.
Donkey. All right. So this is going to be being shipped out to Mark later today or tomorrow. Shipping's a little backed up with this whole CB Gitty sale going on right now. But we hope he enjoys it, and we're going to be doing this same thing again this week because it worked out so well. We're so excited about this. One winner will be chosen from amongst all of you who publicly share this post this week, and you will get to choose what image goes on the guitar that we will build. Farley put this together. It finished it earlier today.
Yeah.
And it'll be going out to you. I think we'll need to sign the back, get the Gitty gang to sign the back, and off it'll go. So yeah, share this publicly on Facebook and you'll be entered.
Here's the thing, if you do win something from the Gitty Gang show,
Gitty gang.
please check your Facebook Messenger messages because it's a real drag.
Hey, there's Mark.
Hey! It's a
Here it is,
drag to
buddy.
be able to be able to give something to somebody, and then we try to reach out to them through Facebook Messenger to let them know that they've won, and then they don't, for whatever reason, like they don't see the message, and it's weeks later it can be kind of difficult to keep things on together.
So watch your Facebook Messenger. I might show up because it'll be me sending the message. It might show up under message requests or other messages or something. All right, so I'm going to do a little ditty on this just to make sure Mark, who's watching out there, knows that it works. This is the real deal. I'm not sure how this is going to go. We're going to try it.
This is by the seat of the pants.
This is going to be, you've heard of dueling banjos. Well, this is a cigar box guitar dueling with itself, but then with some help from a friend. So I get by with a little help from my dueling cigar box guitar friends.
Wow.
I don't know.
It's
I got
a
nothing.
Okay.
last week's giveaway, and once again we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give another one of these away from this week's show. All of the sharers will be entered, and you get to pick what goes on it. So, hey-oh!
Hey-oh!
This will be shipping out to you today or tomorrow, Mark. Heading down to Florida. All right, now, something else fun. We've it's lining up, boy. Look out! Get Grandpa Gitty out here. No, slow down. All right. So last week, if you watched, you know that Glenn opened up a mystery box. Well, we've got another one this week. Not quite so much of a mystery because the sender posted some awesome photos of what's in there on Facebook. But this is our first time seeing them and holding them, and hopefully Glenn's going to do a little playing on them. So we're going to shift over here to where there's a little more room and get this pulled up here. This is the box. All right. Get my knife put away here. All right. Boy, there's some good looking stuff in there. So we're just going to get all this pulled out here. Well, there's a lot of packing materials. I don't know what, I got to get right down.
You're covering the guest, Ben.
Sorry, Marty. Not used to having guests here on the Gitty Beach.
Why it's not me this time?
All right, let's see what we got in here. Grand unveiling. Oh, buddy. Getting the knife out, cut through some of this. Now these are going to be a new addition to what we're calling our Masterworks series. Awesome cigar box guitars built by some of the best builders out there.
What builders do you have?
Well, I'm getting to that, buddy. Slow down. I'm trying to do a lot here at the same time and not look like a jackass. Fail.
Too late.
So these were built by Chris McKinney of Fun Guy Mojo Cigar Box Guitars out there in Long Beach, California. I've had the pleasure of meeting and hanging around with Chris a couple of times now at NAMM shows. Awesome people, awesome crew out there building these. Some of our other Masterworks builders are Rob Roble, our good buddy down in Destin, Florida, and G.S. Monroe in Hollywood, Florida. And we got Tim Wall down there in North Carolina building the Hellhounds.
NC!
Well, this is the latest. Now these are kind of special here. Oh, missed some tape. These are 6-string. Come on, man.
What?
Come on, oh man. Boy, they are well packaged. I ain't gonna lie.
That neck looks gorgeous.
And I gotta be careful to not score the box. There we go.
Wow.
All right. So what we got here? This is one of those beautiful, shiny Camacho cigar boxes that came out a while back. And this is a 6-stringer. Let's see. Oh, the certificate of authenticity there. Now these are set up as a, more like a solid body. Got an awesome gold foil pickup in there. So I'm going to hand this off to Glenn. And I realize as I do, he's going to get it in tune. You want to come on up, buddy?
Yeah, buddy.
Get this out of here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Uh-oh. We'll be recycling all of this. Don't worry. Oh. All right. So, as I was saying, the Masterworks... oh, the mic's over there. That's awesome. We've got 3 or 4 of these that we're going to be getting listed on the Gitty site here as soon as we can. 6, actually, there'll probably end up being 2 listed because I'm probably going to keep one for my own collection. 6-string cigar box guitars. Glenn's getting her tuned up. We're going to plug her in and give it a little tryout. Now, as you know, usually you tune down a guitar if you're going to ship it. Those of you who have sold and shipped guitars, you usually will decrease the tension on the strings for shipping, just so there's not that extra tension on there, because shipping can be a traumatic process for a guitar or a cigar box guitar. So,
Almost there.
almost there, buddy. He's almost got it. All right. We're going to get her plugged in and hope to God it works. You never know, like I say, you never know what can happen in shipping. All right.
Keep talking.
So I'm doing great
What we
here.
got?
He tells me to keep talking. Fungi Mojo. So, if you've ever built a tried to build a 6-string cigar box guitar, you'll know it puts a lot of tension on the neck. All those strings tuned up to pitch put a lot more stress on a neck than say a 3 or a 4-string build does. So for 3 and 4 stringers, we often use 1x2s. Got one here on the pizza box guitar. That's just a 1x2 poplar stick with a fretboard glued on top, and it stands up to 3 strings pretty well. But 6 strings put a lot more tension on there. So it looks like these are Telecaster style necks on here that have a truss rod in there. Now, if you don't know what a truss rod is, it's a steel, usually threaded rod that can be adjusted one way or the other to either bring the headstock up and increase the bow of the neck, or push it back down to decrease the bow. And you adjust that as needed to get your string action just to the right height. So, how's it going back here, buddy? He's getting there. It's all coming in. So, we're going to plug it into the amp we've got and see what that sounds like. And then from there, I'm going to move right on to announcements and stuff like that. As I was saying earlier, the Clarksdale Cigar Box Guitar Festival is going on right now. It kicked off last evening with some great acts at the new Roxy there, and they're going tonight and tomorrow night, and I believe there's some stuff going on Sunday. It's a 3-day event, or maybe it's 4-day now, of just some of the best. And there is a GoFundMe. We have linked to the GoFundMe fundraiser for that festival. You can be a part of it. You can get some great limited edition swag from it. You can get a digital download of a recording of the event. You can get a physical CD album of it, along with a poster, t-shirts, all sorts of great stuff. And in doing so, you help support these live events that otherwise will not happen without the support of the community. So check that out. I think we got some love and activity going on back here. Wait for the old amp to get warmed up.
My dad. You played 3 strings for so long.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of 6-string playing.
This instrument is as slick as it gets. This is amazing stuff, Chris McKinney. I'm sorry that I couldn't represent it better, but this thing is awesome. This was a great instrument to play. Nice work, buddy.
All right. Good stuff going on right there. Okay. Thank you, Glenn, his eyes went a little wide earlier when he was like, hey, you can do a little something on the 6-string, right? And I was like, sure. And nice little swag pack that comes along with it here with some picks. Truly a masterwork cigar box guitar. So we're proud here at CB Gitty to be able to work with builders and bring stuff like that in, builds like that in, to be able to offer to the world.
That's awesome.
All right, so Clarksdale, check that out. Also, this coming weekend, next weekend, the 30th, September 30th, is the annual Republic of Texas Cigar Box Guitar Festival, which I think is I think it's the last one in the U.S. for the year. I haven't heard about anything happening out in Chicago this year. So, or Sarasota maybe. Anyway, it's one of the last ones happening this coming weekend, September 30th, down there in Albert, Texas, at the Albert Dance Hall. It's their 3rd or 4th year. I've got it on here somewhere. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And also, A surprise last-minute announcement. Just the details got worked out this morning. We're going to be premiering a new video from April, May, and the June Bugs right here on the Cigar Box Nation page, Monday at noon. We've been working with April and Dave to figure out how we're going to roll this out, because they're rolling it out at the same. It's going to be awesome. An amazing new video. If you've never seen April, May, and the June Bugs, they put on an amazing show, and I can't wait to see this video. Glenn, you've seen them a few times.
Incredible.
Farley, you saw them down in York
Yeah.
last year, down at the York,
Awesome.
Pennsylvania Cigar Box Guitar Festival. We had hoped to have them up here on this very stage, but it didn't work out for this year. We're looking at the spring for that. So once again, this week's giveaway, we're doing another custom cigar box guitar with artwork or graphics provided by the winner, provided by you if you end up winning. We're having a big parts sale on cbgitty.com right now through Sunday evening. Every cigar box guitar part, fret wire, tuners, pickups, nuts, bridges, hardware corners, strings, all the stuff you need to build amazing instruments is on sale right now, 20% off, and we got our free shipping and free gifts that you add on. It's just a great time to be a cigar box guitar builder, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible for everyone out there to do it. So
Yeah,
that
buddy.
brings us towards the end of this week's show. I don't got anything else on my list. You got anything, Glenn Watt?
Not at this time. I do want to say again, though, thank you to Chris McKinney, because that guitar is slick.
I think
Beautiful.
I
Love
think
it.
GT Dubs is in love over
I
here.
am in love with that guitar, bro. That is
All right,
nice stuff.
buddy. And the Rastafarian. You got
Ah.
any parting?
Happy weekend.
Yeah, buddy. Coming right up. Marty, any words for our
Build on.
build on? Build what you play,
Yeah.
play what you love.
And thank you for coming, Marty.
Yeah.
My
Marty.
pleasure. My pleasure.
We
Hey!
like having special guests.
Special.
Means we have to talk less. All right. So we're playing out here. It's been the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. It's been the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. And we came to you live from CB Gitty. We do this every Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock p.m. U.S. Eastern Time here on the Cigar Box Nation Facebook page. I've never tried to do a spoken bit while doing this. All right, here we go. Gitty Gang Show. Gitty Gang Show. It's the Gitty Gang Show. Gitty Gang Show. It's the Gitty Gang Show. Gang Show. It's been the Gitty Gang Show. Gitty Gang Show. It's been the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. All right, thank you for watching. Thanks again to Marty Tauber for coming down from Maine to be with us. We'll see you again next week. We're going to be getting this guitar shipped out to Mark Rice, and next week another one going out to one of you for sharing this publicly on your Facebook timeline.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Fading the